They told him the war was over. But when Staff Sergeant Michael Rains stepped into his living room that night, the sound of gunfire followed him through the walls. Only this time, no one else could hear it. Michael Rains had been gone for 13 months. 13 months of dust, explosions, and radio static that never stopped ringing. When he finally came home to Virginia, the air felt too quiet. His wife, Claire, stood in the doorway, smiling, but not the same way. The kids hid behind her legs. They had grown taller, different. He hugged them, but they didn't squeeze back. There was warmth, but no weight. "Daddy's home," Claire whispered. He smiled, but something inside him didn't believe it. That night, as they slept upstairs, Michael unpacked his bag in the dark. Each object carried a memory, a photo, a medal, a radio. When he turned the radio on, it clicked by itself. A faint voice came through. "Rains, get down." His hand froze. He switched it off. The room was silent again, but the echo stayed. But that was just the first voice. The next morning, breakfast was quiet, too quiet. Claire asked if he slept well. He nodded, pretending. But behind her words, he heard another tone, like a second voice whispering the same sentence in a different rhythm. Later that day, when he walked into his son's room, he noticed something strange. The walls were covered in foam panels. His son said they were for a school project. But when Michael leaned in, he heard it, faint breathing behind the wall. He tore one panel away. Nothing. Just silence. But the air felt charged. That night, the radio turned on again. Same voice, same frequency, same words. "Rains, behind you." He turned around. Just the hallway. Claire appeared at the door. "Who are you talking to?" He opened his mouth, and for a moment her voice overlapped with the one from the radio. The same tone, the same inflection. It wasn't just the house whispering. It was the people inside it. The Army assigned him a psychologist, Dr. Harlan Peen, soft voice, kind eyes, but clinical distance. "Sometimes the brain repeats what it can't let go," the doctor said. "You're hearing your own memories." He nodded. He wanted to believe that. But he wasn't imagining the static. He recorded it, and when he played it back in the office, the voice said something new. "She's not your wife." Keen froze. The tape hissed, then cut off. "Did you edit this?" the doctor asked. Michael just stared. "No, that's not my voice." Later that night, he deleted the file, but the static came back, louder. Inside his head, inside the walls. The echoes were learning to talk back. Over the next week, Michael began to lose sense of what was real. Every conversation had an aftersound, like a delayed replay. When Claire laughed, the echo didn't match the smile. When his daughter cried, he heard a deeper tone behind her sobs. He started sleeping in the basement. There, the walls didn't echo, at least not yet. One night, he found a wire running behind the drywall, military-grade frequency cable, the kind used for encrypted field comms. But his house was built in 2008. No reason for it to be there. He followed the wire to the attic. There, he found a small black box, blinking red. When he opened it, the static roared to life, and this time, it said his name in his own voice. Michael Rains. "Stand down." He dropped the box, but the echo didn't stop. It was in his head now. The house wasn't haunted. He was. Claire confronted him the next morning. "The kids are scared, Michael. You talk to walls." He tried to explain, but even his own words didn't sound like him anymore. There was a delay, a distortion. The voice that came out of his mouth had a metallic tremor. He ran outside. Snow covered the ground. Every step crunched in perfect rhythm, as if someone was walking in sync right behind him. He turned around. No one, but his footprints had duplicates, one half a second behind. That night, he dreamed of his old unit, 12 soldiers standing in fog. All of them spoke in his wife's voice. "Come home, Michael." He woke up to find the radio on again, and Claire whispering in her sleep the exact same words. He wasn't sure who had come home anymore. He broke open the black box. Inside was a small tag, property of U.S. Defense Acoustic Research Division. He drove 3 hours to the nearest military facility. When he got there, they said no such division existed. "Maybe you're mixing things up," the officer said kindly. "You should rest." But Michael noticed the same sound behind his voice, too. A faint static echo, repeating every word half a second late. It wasn't a hallucination. It was replication. That night, he connected his radio headset to the box. The signal returned instantly. A perfect replica of his own voice said, "You didn't come back, Michael. You were transmitted." The radio cut out. The room went black. He turned on every radio in the house. They all played the same message. His voice layered and distorted. "This is home. You are the echo." The mirrors vibrated. The lights flickered. And in that moment, he saw 2 reflections, one standing still, the other breathing. He reached out. The reflection didn't. Claire ran into the room, terrified. "Michael, stop!" He whispered, almost calm. "I'm trying to." He smashed the mirror. For the first time, the house went silent. But in the silence, he heard breathing, and it wasn't his. Dr. Keene sits alone in his office. He presses play on an old recorder. Static hums for a few seconds, then Michael's voice comes through. "If you're hearing this, I didn't make it back." Keene pauses. In the reflection of the office window, a faint outline moves behind him. "Michael?" Silence. Then faintly, his own voice replies from the recorder. "You will." Fade out.